welcome to my podcast. I'm really, really excited to have you on. And we will be talking about some really interesting topics that are actually sorry for my tautology, topical. And we're going to talk about AI, and we're going to talk about how we can use it in marketing. So first of all, welcome to my podcast, guys.
Thank you,
Hey,
Samir.
thanks for having us.
Absolutely, it's my pleasure, and I've been wanting to have a conversation with someone about the subject of AI and the subject of, most importantly, its implementation and monetization. So why don't you just go ahead and talk to me a little bit about who you are and what are you up to right now and what are you developing?
Sure. Ranti, do you want to introduce?
Uh, Hey, Samir. So thank you for taking time and having us here. So me and my co-founder Jatin, my name is Ranti, and my co-founder is Jatin. So we are the co-founders of Speedy Brand. It's basically a digital marketing company based on AI, and there are very exciting things happening in this space, especially for small businesses, which used to. The thing was before there were like large marketing companies where small brands or small startup founders they cannot go there because of the pricing and all. They don't have time most of the time. So we are automating all that stuff, like there from the time, from their input prompts to like trending topics to SEO to digital content to Instagram posts to Facebook posts, everything we are trying to like automate it using new technology, as you might have seen, like ChatGPT. So we are not pure ChatGPT. We are way more than ChatGPT. We actually train ChatGPT in a way that it's very personalized to your business, to your needs, and it has a recommender engine kind of thing where it knows like what kind of business you are in, what kind of business you want to do. So it recommends you advertisements or digital content based on that. So that's the whole kind of product. And the main point is it saves a lot of time. You don't have to, like, currently we surveyed a lot of SMBs. They were like, to make a 1 week of content, they were spending 8 hours. With this kind of product, they just have to spend like 5 minutes to 10 minutes a day for a 1 week of content.
That's
So
amazing.
we are reducing the time, and also we are reducing the cost. I think Jatin can tell more about all of the
So
things also.
yeah, and I just want to, before that, allow me to understand it better. So you guys are allowing businesses to generate content almost automatically that will be like let's say in the form of a blog post or in the form of a product description or the form of like an Instagram post, but at the same time, so it will be written like it's a genuine article created by a real person. And am I to understand that it's also SEO optimized?
Yes, that's correct.
Wow, that's amazing. Um,
So,
yeah.
like, for me, just to elaborate more on that, right now, you do have other products which are, help you get beyond the blank space, help you with ideas. Most of them, though, are created for professionals, right? Who are familiar with SEMrush or SEO long tail keywords, right? And they would use different tools to further refine their content by using those tools, by including long tail keywords and helping them with the SEO rankings and Google. What we want to, that experience now is very Linuxy. Remember the days when we used to type a command into command prompt and then
Hmm.
stuff, and then later GUIs came and we had Mac and Windows. So we want to abstract away all of that. So small scale businesses also have quality content for their brands.
Hmm. That's so crazy. How do you guys achieve that? Like, how do you achieve that AI machine learning? Like, what do you use as your foundation? I would say, where you get your data from?
So me and Jatin and Ayush, we all were like AI engineers. I have worked at Apple. Jatin has worked at startups, and also Ayush, he's currently
And he's one of your co-founders,
yeah, he's one of our co-founders.
right?
So we have mostly worked in AI space. In Apple AI, was mostly working on Apple glasses, how to detect your hands, and
Hmm.
all those kind of things.
Interesting.
Yeah, we have worked in AI space since a long time. Most of our data is whole internet, like
Hmm.
whatever is available on internet. We are training our models on top of that. Also, we also ask our customers if they have any of their own data. Let's say their
Internal
website.
database. Hmm.
Internal database, we rarely touch that, but mostly it's whatever the public information they have or the information they want to make public. Let's say new offerings are coming or new
Hmm.
things which are coming soon. So we ask our customers to give us a list of that, their website or any idea or anything like that. So maybe there is some customer, he says like, hey, I want to post something funny or witty or maybe in a style of Mr. Beast, which is
Hmm.
trending right now. So we ask those kind of questions to our customers, what kind of content they want on the website, what style of content they want on this website, or also like what is their belief of like what's the customer persona they have. Let's say they have some users which are mostly young, so they want terminology which is based on the young
Right.
consumers. Let's say if you have if you're a magazine owner and you're selling some magazine, maybe your customers are more like 30s to 40s, so they want something which is more like established kind of businessy tone.
Hmm.
So we will create content based on that. So it's more like a style based content. So we ask those kind of questions to our customers. And if they are, let's say, making a new product, then they can give us some definition of their product. And based on that, we can generate more content.
And that is so groundbreaking. Like instead of hiring a department of like a marketing company, for example, that has like, oh, we know the Gen Z market, or we know the millennial market, and we have like people on staff who understands that. You could kind of like automate that lingo. You can automate the slang and all of that, and just purely create content based on that. Would you mind leading me through some sort of like a case study, like a quick example of how you guys are helping like a business, for example, just like what is being created for that business, like the value itself, so that our listeners
So
can better
I
understand.
can give you some simple examples that we
Yeah.
did. One was a real estate agent. So he had some listings like in Georgina, it's a nice area. So he had some listings which are very like I would say like 20 by 40 inch, like basic description. It wasn't like in any kind of a language which, let's say if I want to buy something in Georgina, if I'm searching for any space in Georgina, what I will do is any home, beach facing home or something like that
Hmm.
in Georgina. I will not go for that specific uh, like listing. So his listing was not that SEO optimized. So when we take on his project, what we did was first we just take the basic listing like 30 inch by 40 inch, whatever the sizings or plot of sizings and all those
Hmm.
kind of things. Then we also parse the internet like, hey, this home, according to Google, it has very nice connectivity to all the regions nearby. This
Hmm.
home is very close to this library, which is very highly rated, or this school, which is highly rated. Then you also go on to Google, like, hey, Georgina is very famous for actually beaches and all those kind of things and outdoor activities. So we get that data from the internet and
Hmm.
we feed into our model and feed into his instructions into model, and we create a content which is more designed to what
Hmm.
his customers would search for, like, hey, nice beach facing home, nice connectivity to a good school in Georgina. So those
Hmm.
kind of keywords will people will search. So we made a listing which was like that, and his hits got like 50% extra hits on just that, just changing that type of technology. Uh,
That's a great example. And when you said we created a content, like you actually like just inputted the data and
yeah,
the tool itself just spit out that content for
yeah,
you, like that is
yeah.
the most optimized.
Yeah. So we
Wow.
have a vertical wise tool, like we have a tool which is very specific to real estate. So whenever a real estate kind of listing comes, we then search for things which are more real estate
Hmm.
stickily. So we search for that kind of data and we made a very nice listing for him. Another example could be immigration. We have a lot of clients in immigration. So generally when I am searching for any, I'm in right now, I'm in Canada. I am also an immigrant, a new immigrant. There are also other immigrants who are in PR status or student visa and all those kind of things. And the rules are keep changing. Like they always change the rules, like 50%, 10%, new rule. You can do this. You can go
Right.
to Saskatchewan and all those kind of things.
All the programs,
So
yeah.
so let's say I'm a student. I'm not searching for best immigration agent near me. What I am doing is I want to gain some information. What I will do is, uh, how does this rule PR 101 affects me?
Hmm.
So what we have automated is whenever a new trend or new news is coming from Canada or CA or any news website that immigration agent wants to follow, a new article will be created depending on his style and also his customer style. Let's say his customer line wants more like a fact kind of thing, like how does it impact, how many new immigrants will be immigrated, how it's going to change the student life. Or if there is some professional immigration agent who's most of the people are not immigrants but maybe some from French speaking region, also all those kind of, we will also take care of the language that they speak. So based on that, we'll create content, and that was one of our case studies also.
That's amazing. And honestly, like that prompt engineering thing, I just recently like heard this new term that having engineering a right prompt to answer some specific questions or get specific information is going to be the new profession. And so with that being said, for your app and for your, I would say, product as well, how does a like interface, like for example, how does the interface actually look? Meaning, like, can a normal simple person that is not like an AI engineer or anything like that just use it? Like, how does it look for you, for a customer?
Yeah. So essentially, it's much more simpler than ChatGPT. That's another USP we have. It will be a zero prompt solution. So if what you would be getting is content which is curated just for your business, you would be
Hmm.
posting it as it is or with minimal edits. That's the whole purpose. You don't have to edit at all, and you don't
Hmm.
have to even engage with prompt engineering or think with the apply any hacks how
Hmm.
ChatGPT or similar models can return you better content or more suited content. So we abstract away even that. And
Hmm.
so as far as the interface goes, it would just be curated content for monthly or weekly posts or your newsletter. And you just get a post edit or just like that, just post it away.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, we are also our previous co-founders in the last startup we did. It was very hard for us to stay alive on social media. Like, if you are not alive on social media, people will believe that maybe they are done, they are not working or something like that. So
Hmm.
just to stay alive, we have to hire a person on Fiverr and pay him like $300 per month to such just post something and
Hmm.
anything on Twitter. And the thing is, like, then it was like, we'll have to say him like, hey, it's Saturday, will you post it on Sunday or Monday? And then he was like, hey, I'm in school, I have assignment, I'll do it on Monday or Tuesday. Or those, it was like lots of communication.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was also his or her style of posting,
Hmm.
what he liked or what he didn't like. And it was like, okay, we are spending some money because we didn't have that much money to spend on this marketing
Of
thing.
course.
So we are like getting that all thing away. It was our own problem, and we know like all of lot of small businesses face similar problems. So that's why we are automating this stuff. Like, you don't have to worry. You just do your business, and we
Hmm.
grow your business, and we grow with you.
You know, it's so funny. I was gonna ask, like, is it possible to create like a third-party API for Twitter to actually do those generated posts? But with the recent news that Twitter actually canceled everything third-party, like they're not working with any third-party apps right now. It's kind of like, I guess, not the right question or not the right example. But like, let's say with other social networks, let's say with Facebook, I'm assuming they still have something third-party related, or Instagram or anything else. Can you actually program your application, program your product so that it generates content on a scheduled based and automates it itself as an algorithm?
So the thing is, this tool, it's more like a platform. It sits on top of all the social apps. So what this tool does is it gets a prompt from you, from like get the prompts from the internet, from the whole the environment. It also gets some prompts from, let's say you have a new discount offering, you just like that type discount 20%, generate social
Hmm.
content about it. So it sits on all top of the all social platforms. What it will do is it will generate some content according to all the social platforms and different kind of followers that you have. So let's say on Facebook you have like some kind of followers, on Twitter maybe some kind of followers. And basically once it creates the content, we just send the content on your app. There will be a central app for you. You will be owner of that app, and you just review the post like, hey, is this post which I want to post? Because thing is, like, people don't want to lose the control. Like,
Hmm.
let's say there's an automata which is like pasting anything or maybe racist things. We don't want to do that. So what happens is, like, whenever the post is generated, it goes to the business owner for first review. And if you want to edit it, they can also edit it. Let's say he wants to add something like a flavor or something like ending line like, hey, whatever. So
Hmm.
those kind of things. So the onus is on the business owner. Like, we have given him the whole power of the content from the internet to his hands. Once it's there, he can just one click, it will be posted to all the platforms. So it's not fully automated, like, it's just content being created and posting on Facebook. That become more like a spammy kind of a thing. We still want a human touch or the business touch.
Hmm.
It should be there. So that's why it first goes to humans, then he approves, or he can schedule it like, hey, I don't want to post it now, but I want to schedule it for Monday or Tuesday or something like that, and then that's done.
That's amazing. And so from the marketing perspective though, let's say I want to create a website and I just want, and of course like you have to hire like a copywriter, content writer, right? If you want to have like a blog post kind of thing, review thing, and you want to like market something on your website through affiliate marketing. So for that you have to have like a very good website SEO optimized that is ranking really high on Google so that you are successful. Let's say like, over 50,000 visits per month or 200,000 visits and stuff like that. And for that, you have to be active on your website and always post original content. Can your product actually do that? And I'm really asking because like it sounds like we can save a lot of money creating those blog posts pretty much twice a day, every day, 24/7, whatever. Um, is that like really how it is? And because it's SEO optimized, like Google will rank those websites eventually because they are being read as an original content.
So, as far as original content, for example, a lot of people, if they are running a leadership, one of our customers runs a leadership program where he mostly posts about his own experiences of the recent cohorts he has had, or one of his students has achieved something. There's definitely no replacement for that through automation. You still need to give out your own experiences, and this tool is definitely can help create content in for that particular case. So it won't be that it's entirely automated, and it will be generating entirely original content. So that way, it is still requires some input from if someone wants to put out consistently original content as well.
Yeah, I guess I'm more of like not talking about like let's say like oh whether you came up with it or not or whether it's just like a robot or like machine learning kind of created this article. It's just like in the eyes of search, can I prompt something like write a review of this equipment monitor or something as if like in a very casual manner, but also like describe its features, in the listicle kind of like 1, 2, and 3 and 4, like with pros and
Yep.
cons,
Yep.
with that kind of prompt, and I'll just do this prompting articles for a bunch of products several times a day, and it just creates like a couple paragraphs for me, and then I post it. And the most questions for me, like the most like important question for me is, will that rank in search eventually? Will that be read as like, oh, okay, like this is like an article that a person would write, and so eventually like my site is active, and most importantly provides value for the customer. Is that
Yeah.
something that is possible?
Yeah, so the Google ranking is mostly based on SEO based, and it's mostly EAT, where it sees like how much command do you have on this space. So
Mm-hmm.
you slowly have to build it, like the organic growth has slowly. But if it's like SEO optimized, then it has to go up. Like that's just an algorithm. Google has an algorithm. If you are organically pasting a lot of content in that same space, you are gonna go up. That's a straight rule. But the another thing is like, let's say you are writing a review about a product. It will write a very nice polished product description and whatever review or in any style that you want. But if you have your own like prompts, like, hey, I use this and I felt this, something with the original. If you
Mm-hmm.
add that flair also, the article will become much better. So
Exactly. Prompt
so
engineering.
yeah. So if you, let's say you have something like some unique insight about this product, if you add that too, it will make your article even better, and the customer insight will be even better. So that is always needed. So yeah, that is true. It can generate a basic, very good SEO ranked article for you. But if you have unique insight, if you want to add that, we also give that opportunity to our customer. Like whatever they want to add, just tell us. We'll make it, embellish it, make it better,
Mm-hmm.
SEO optimized for you, and
Mm-hmm.
it will be posted and get more better rating.
So Rantit and I guess Jatin as well, like talk to me about the industry itself right now with AI and the way I understand AI. Like I honestly think this is just a label that is kind of like used a lot for marketing purposes, but for me it's just like very advanced machine learning, which is now being labeled as AI. But with that being said, AI is now the big thing. It's the like there used to be Web3 with VCs, now it's AI, and I know that you've mentioned you guys that the investors are very interested in your company, like there's some fundraising going on and all of that. Can you tell me like an insider perspective, if someone like how's the startup world right now utilizing AI, and what's the fundraising looks like for that? How do like what kind of questions VCs are interested about, and just some insight about that, because we are seeing this boom. This is kind of like a savior right now for this bear market. Like, what else can we invest in? No one invests in metaverse or Web3 right now. AI is the new thing. What's your perspective on that?
So I think it's not something that if AI wave is happening, then VCs will start funding you. You still need to show traction, and you still need to show customers. So that I think is the fundamental key to secure funding in this bear market, especially with the bleak future this year. So you need to show some traction to get a level of funding. Um, yeah, besides that, Ranti, do you want to add anything on the state of
Yeah,
it?
yeah. On the state of AI, I would say this is very exciting times. Like world is changing very rapidly. This is the first time like we can compress whole internet knowledge into one single model. So this is very exciting times, I would say. Uh, Currently, AI is no match for human, but for very, very basic tasks, it is kind of match. I wouldn't say still a match, but this is the first time that we are seeing the whole internet being read and fed into a model, and model is understanding some things. Uh, I wouldn't classify it's like model has become more like human like, or it has its own brain. We don't know the philosophy and all the, even we don't know human how does the human brain works. So we are very far away from that stage, but I would say like for basic tasks which are very mundane, which can all those tasks can be easily automated now. You will see in next 10 to 5 years, 5 to 10 years, a lot of basic tasks which are very mundane, which will see like, hey, why doesn't it do itself? Or why do I have to always type a formula in Excel sheet? Like why doesn't like know like this is what I am doing? Why isn't it just writing the formula itself? Or even let's say you're a financial analyst or business analyst, you have to like most of the time what you're doing is you're making a time series of data, finding the data which is above threshold or below threshold. So all those simple tasks will be automated. Human will be using this technology to even like automate most of his basic work, and then thinking beyond. Like let's say what happened with the calculator or calculator thing.
Hmm.
Like we were like multiplying all these things and then getting up to somewhere. Calculator solved our problem of like calculations. Now this with this rapid evolution of AI, it is gonna solve very basic things, not the higher up things. Higher up, we still need humans to like look at how to do that. What is AI doing? Because we still don't know. AI is
Hmm.
still a black box. So we don't know whether it's understanding it or it's understanding it like the way we understand, or is it just word manipulation or what it is doing. We are still not there.
Right. I agree with, we're still really early, but imagine how many jobs this is going to replace, like even from the content writing perspective. Right now, I know personally a lot of copywriters are very excited about like something like of Chat GPT, for example, because it is assisting them with their jobs. But imagine um, this will be kind of like replaced in the future, and like what will it do with the economy in the world, you
I
know?
would say it's going to increase the economy because it's going to increase the efficiency of every business. For
Right.
example, in our product, we are giving them efficiencies to a small business, what he or she was not able to do that before.
Hmm.
This is the first time they are getting the tool which all the medium size or large size corporations had. So this is actually going to increase the efficiency of each human being, so they can focus on the bigger things and the bigger level things, take big decisions in their business. Uh, I still believe like technology is an enabler rather than a replacer. With the even the internet thing, people thought like, hey, it's gonna replace all the banking jobs. ATM is gonna replace my cashier.
Hmm.
Did replace it, but in a better way. Now cashier has other things to do. They can do more other things which are higher level, do some investment banking and all those kind of things. So also another thing is like this time in this internet revolution, it's not gonna replace. I would say it's not replacing all the blue collar jobs. It's mostly gonna replace jobs which are very mundane, which didn't like needed any kind of critical thinking. It's not
Hmm.
gonna replace them. I would say it's more gonna be like enabling them to
Yeah.
do more.
But let's not, dance around it. Like it will replace it, I feel like. Like if you're some sort of a secretary, if you're some sort of a assistant that basically does the prompting thing for your boss, like at some point, AI will replace it, and it's a natural evolution, I would say. And I would say like the question is like not how many jobs it will replace, but or what jobs it will replace, but what jobs it will create. That's something that is
Yeah,
really interesting for me as well. For example,
yeah,
that prompt engineer position, for
yeah,
example. What
yeah.
else can it be? Yeah, what do you
Uh,
guys think?
have you seen like AI artists? Like anybody can be a
Yeah,
really good artist right now. Like I was
I
creating some
really love
arts and
Spider-Man, the Spider-Man art. I freaking love
yeah,
it.
yeah. So like everybody can be artist now, or but still we cannot replace Mona Lisa, the originality or the thought, the process that went into it. So we cannot replace that. AI is more like
You're very careful not giving AI a lot of credit. You're like, it's still not there. Just so that you know,
yeah, the thing is like a lot of people create a lot of hype around AI, and it
yeah.
has been like 20 years since a new hype cycle comes in. So I personally don't like the hype cycle because thing is like we still don't understand fully what is happening inside that black box. Until we understand it, I
Mhm.
don't think we should go into the hype cycle. Like, hey, it's gonna do everything. And after like 3 months, people are like, it's not that good, it's not doing that shit. So we don't wanna like go into that space. So
I like
that's why
that.
I'm more like AI is a tool which enables humans to
Yeah.
do better things. Yeah.
Because ultimately, the models would only learn from the existing examples. That's how
Yeah.
machine learning works. And
Yeah.
unless there are examples that were created originally by human beings,
Yeah.
it won't get there by its own,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The scary part, and I was just talking about it on the other podcast, is that yes, right now AI is simply like, as far as I understand, of course, advanced machine learning, and it's just requires scrapping internet to come up with
Yeah.
something, right?
Yeah.
But once it starts generating its own thought, quote unquote, and like start creating something of its own and developing a mind of its own, that's where it gets really unpredictable.
Yeah.
And that's why I agree. Yes, it is a black box, and it is worth being very skeptical about that. With the current startup environment, what do you feel like? Because I feel like there's going to be a lot of startups right now based on AI, and you've mentioned that your product and your company is not. It has its own kind of like programming. It's its own tool with it. I guess
Yeah.
proprietary. It's
Yeah.
not using any API connection to something like OpenAI and ChatGPT. Do you feel like
Mhm.
for other startups, do they have, because you guys are pretty smart, ex Apple, and you guys were working in different companies, and you understand what you're doing, it's a huge labor and a huge task for anyone. Do you think every startup founder needs to have that team that actually develops its own product based on just kind of like of thin air, or can they connect to something like OpenAI, ChatGPT, something like that through some sort of an API, but create their little layer on top with the tool?
Uh, I think as this Jatin can also answer it, but let me add one more thing. Like as Sam Altman, he's like the CEO of
Yeah.
OpenAI, he said, there's gonna be OpenAI, and then there is gonna be foundation models.
Hmm.
Foundation models are more like vertical wise models. Those are gonna be model suppliers in medical
Hmm.
domain, in marketing domain, any other domain that is there. And then there are gonna be companies who are just using it. Right now, like the way we use cloud, like AWS, Google Cloud. These are the companies which are providing cloud, and other people don't
Right.
need to learn anything about
Hmm.
cloud. They just use it.
Use it
So
as a
this is going to
service.
happen. It like OpenAI is going to provide a very, very basic foundation model, and then there will going to be companies which are like more like vertical wise, medical domain, marketing domain, engineering domain, coding domain, and then there are going to be companies who are going to use it like a cloud API. That's it. I think rest, yeah,
It's a simple concept of like transfer learning, where you take the original model and retrain it over specific verticals for that data.
Yeah, that makes sense. Would you say, like, for people who want to get on the startup train, and they've been observing all this thing with, first of all, the Internet of Things, Silicon Valley, and then we had this hype around Web3 and crypto. And again, like, we're not saying, like, I'm not saying it's dead or anything like that, but I'm just saying that the sentiment is down right now due to the market conditions. For being on the AI startup train, what you're saying is hype is not enough. You do have to, like, what I'm saying, like, to get funding, to show to VCs. Do you feel like they're still very skeptical? They know where the market is. They are asking a lot of data.
Yes, they're definitely looking for real traction and real customer interest.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, LOIs don't often cut it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
6 months. So you need to have real paying customers for sure.
Got it.
I think
And
by
yeah.
2020, 2021, it was a little bit easier to get funding. Little bit easier. I won't say like it was very easier. People have tried it, but it was a little bit easier than this time because kind of recession times, there are VCs are more strict this time.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what we have seen.
Yeah, and honestly, that's very sobering, right? It's because there's no more crazy money on everyone with interest rates are being so high. It's very tough to borrow money and to
Yeah.
invest it in something. There's no free cash anymore. And that's why VCs are, looking for something like, all right, I want to do an investment that will cash flow for me, that will make money, that will have like 10x, 100x returns for me. And I'm not willing to bet and I guess just to, see if it happens or not, if it sticks or not. So it does make sense. Guys, I really wanted to thank you. We have little time left, but I want to thank you for um, talking about your project and talking about Speedy Brand. Um, how can people test your product? How can they learn more about your product? Where can they find information about the project?
Sure. So you can just go to speedybrand.io and book a demo with us, and we'd be happy to walk you through it, what we are and how we can help you.
Yeah. Currently,
Is
we
it?
are onboarding just selected beta customers.
Mhm.
Like we are actually trying to get more and more customers in different verticals so that we can train the model based on their needs. So if anybody wants to try, please go on to speedybrand.io and book a demo with us, and we will love to onboard their business and help them with the digital needs.
Is it going to be a live demo with like a live presentation?
Yep.
That
And the material will be like prepared with their material for their marketing needs, like for their business before even they have a meeting with us.
that's amazing. I really like the fact that it's a live presentation and you can
Yeah.
actually talk to people, ask questions, not just like a quick video.
Yeah.
So Jatin, Ranti, it's a great pleasure talking to you. I'm really happy that we could talk a little bit about AI, and I'm sure we're gonna talk more about this, and we're gonna hear around the world about your company and about an amazing technology of AI and machine learning. So thank you so much for being on this pod, guys.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Thank you, Samir. Take care. Bye bye.